Have you ever reached a point where you looked at your life and quietly asked yourself, is this really why I'm here? That question isn't a sign you're lost. It's a sign you're ready. Today, I'm going to show you how to find your purpose in life, not by chasing success, but by discovering the reason that makes success truly matter. Every meaningful journey begins with a simple but powerful question, why? Most people spend years asking themselves what they should do or how they should do it. They search for the perfect career, the perfect opportunity, the perfect business, or the perfect plan. While these questions are important, they often distract from the question that matters most. Before asking what you want to do, you must understand why you want to do it. Purpose is not discovered by chasing achievements. It is discovered by understanding the reason behind your actions. Many people believe purpose is something they find one day, almost like discovering hidden treasure. They imagine that one morning they will wake up with complete clarity about their future. Real life rarely works that way. Purpose is usually uncovered through reflection, experience, and honest self-examination. It begins when you stop looking outside yourself for answers and start looking inward. Your why is not your job title, your income, your possessions, or your accomplishments. Those are outcomes. Your why is the deeper reason you choose to wake up every morning. It is the belief that drives your decisions, shapes your priorities, and gives meaning to your efforts. Two people can have the same profession yet live completely different lives because they are driven by different reasons. One teacher may simply be working for a paycheck, while another is driven by a passion to change lives through education. The work may appear identical, but the purpose behind it creates a completely different experience. When people lose sight of their why, they often begin chasing external success. They believe happiness will arrive after the next promotion, the next purchase, or the next milestone. They continue climbing higher without asking whether the ladder is leaning against the right wall. Achievement without purpose often creates temporary satisfaction, but lasting emptiness. It is possible to reach every goal you once dreamed about and still feel something important is missing. Understanding your purpose requires honesty. It asks you to examine what truly matters instead of what impresses others. Many people build lives based on expectations placed upon them by family, society, or culture. They choose careers because they are respected. They pursue goals because they appear successful. They follow paths that make sense to everyone except themselves. Eventually, they realize they have been living according to someone else's definition of success rather than their own. Finding your why begins by paying attention to the moments when you feel most alive. Think about the activities that energize you instead of draining you. Consider the problems you naturally want to solve. Notice the conversations that excite you and the causes that move you emotionally. Often, purpose reveals itself through patterns that have been present for years but overlooked because they seemed too ordinary. Your experiences also shape your purpose. The challenges you have overcome often become the foundation for helping others. Someone who struggled with failure may become passionate about encouraging resilience. Someone who experienced loneliness may dedicate their life to building communities. Someone who faced hardship may develop a deep desire to create opportunities for others. Pain has a remarkable ability to reveal what matters most because it teaches lessons that comfort never could. Your values play an equally important role. Purpose grows where values and actions align. If honesty is important to you, but your daily work requires constant compromise, you will eventually feel disconnected. If creativity matters deeply, but your life leaves no room for expression, frustration will grow. Living in alignment with your values creates a sense of meaning that external rewards cannot replace. Another misconception is believing your purpose must be extraordinary. Many people think they need to change the world in dramatic ways before their lives matter. Purpose is not measured by fame or recognition. Some people change thousands of lives through public leadership. Others transform lives by being extraordinary parents, compassionate mentors, dedicated nurses, inspiring teachers, or supportive friends. The scale of your influence is less important than the sincerity behind it. Purpose also evolves over time. The reason that motivates you at 20 may not be the same reason that drives you at 40 or 60. Life experiences shape your perspective, and your purpose often grows with you. This is why self-reflection is not a one-time event, but a lifelong practice. As you grow, your understanding of your why becomes deeper and more refined. Many people hesitate to pursue purpose because they fear uncertainty. They want guarantees before taking the first step. They wait until every question is answered before making a decision. Yet purpose rarely appears before movement. Clarity often follows action. Every experience teaches something about what fulfills you and what does not. Every challenge provides information about your strengths, values, and direction. Waiting for complete certainty often delays the very discovery you are seeking. The people around you can influence your understanding of purpose as well. Surrounding yourself with individuals who encourage authenticity rather than conformity makes it easier to recognize what truly matters. Supportive relationships create space for exploration, growth, and honest conversations about your aspirations. Negative environments, however, often pressure people to suppress their true ambitions in exchange for acceptance or security. Starting with your why changes how you define success. Instead of asking whether you are earning enough, you begin asking whether your work reflects your values. Instead of measuring progress only through achievements, you begin measuring it through impact, growth, and contribution. Decisions become clearer because they are guided by principles rather than temporary emotions or outside approval. Your purpose becomes the foundation upon which every meaningful choice is built. Every person is guided by a set of beliefs, whether they realize it or not. These beliefs influence decisions, shape relationships, determine priorities, and define the direction of life. These are your core values. They are the principles that remain important regardless of changing circumstances. When you know your core values, you gain clarity about who you are and what truly matters. Without them, life can become a series of reactions to other people's expectations instead of intentional choices that reflect your authentic self. Many people confuse values with goals. Goals are destinations you hope to reach. Values are the principles that guide how you travel. A goal may be to build a successful business, earn a promotion, or achieve financial independence. A value might be integrity, compassion, creativity, courage, or service. Goals can change over time, but genuine values tend to remain consistent throughout life. They become the compass that keeps you moving in the right direction, especially during moments of uncertainty. One reason so many people struggle to find purpose is because they pursue goals that are disconnected from their values. Society often encourages people to chase status, wealth, recognition, or approval without first asking whether those pursuits align with what truly matters to them. Someone may achieve everything they once dreamed about and still feel unfulfilled because they have been living according to someone else's priorities instead of their own. Imagine building a beautiful house on an unstable foundation. From the outside, it may appear impressive, but over time cracks begin to appear because the structure lacks stability. Life works in much the same way. Success without values often creates inner conflict. You may appear successful to others while privately feeling disconnected, exhausted, or dissatisfied. True fulfillment comes when your actions consistently reflect your deepest beliefs. Understanding your values requires honest reflection. Think about the moments in your life when you felt the greatest sense of pride. Those experiences often reveal what you value most. Perhaps you felt fulfilled because you helped someone overcome a difficult challenge. Maybe you solved a meaningful problem, created something original, stood up for what was right, or demonstrated courage during a difficult situation. These moments provide valuable clues about the principles that define your character. Another way to identify your values is by paying attention to what deeply frustrates or disappoints you. Strong emotional reactions often reveal violated values. If dishonesty upsets you, integrity may be one of your core values. If injustice deeply affects you, fairness may be important to your sense of purpose. If wasted potential bothers you, growth or excellence may hold significant meaning for you. Sometimes what angers you reveals what you care about most. Core values also influence the people you choose to spend time with. Healthy relationships are often built upon shared values rather than shared interests alone. Interests can change over time, but values create lasting trust and respect. When your closest relationships align with your principles, they become sources of encouragement and strength. When values consistently conflict, tension and misunderstanding often become unavoidable. Many people compromise their values in exchange for temporary rewards. They remain silent when honesty is required because they fear rejection. They sacrifice personal well-being to gain approval. They accept environments that conflict with their beliefs because leaving feels uncomfortable. Every compromise may seem small in the moment, but repeated compromises slowly distance people from their authentic selves. Eventually, they begin to wonder why success no longer feels satisfying. living according to your values does not mean life becomes easier. In many cases, it becomes more challenging because your principles require difficult decisions. Integrity may require walking away from opportunities that conflict with your ethics. Courage may require speaking the truth when silence feels safer. Compassion may require forgiving someone who has caused pain. Responsibility may require accepting accountability instead of making excuses. Values are tested not during comfortable moments, but during difficult ones. Your purpose becomes clearer when your daily actions reflect your values. If service matters to you, your purpose will likely involve helping others in meaningful ways. If creativity is central to who you are, purpose may involve building, designing, writing, or solving problems. If learning is important, your life may naturally revolve around education, growth, and sharing knowledge. Purpose is often the practical expression of deeply held values put into consistent action. It is also important to recognize that values are demonstrated through behavior, not words. Anyone can claim that family, honesty, kindness, or growth is important. The real question is whether your calendar, habits, decisions, and priorities support those claims. The way you spend your time, attention, and energy reveals your true values more accurately than anything you say. As life changes, opportunities will continue to appear that test your commitment to your principles. Some decisions will promise immediate rewards while asking you to compromise what matters most. Others may require sacrifice but strengthen your integrity. Knowing your values before those moments arrive allows you to make decisions with confidence rather than confusion. Instead of constantly asking what others expect from you, you begin asking whether your choices reflect the person you truly want to become. Your values become the quiet force behind every meaningful decision, giving your life consistency, direction, and purpose. Pain is one of the few experiences every human being shares, yet most people spend their lives trying to avoid it. We naturally resist disappointment, failure, rejection, loss, and hardship because they make us uncomfortable. We wish difficult chapters had never happened. We replay painful memories, asking why they happened to us instead of someone else. But what if the experiences you are trying hardest to forget contain the very clues to your life's purpose? What if the struggles that nearly broke you are the same struggles preparing you to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others? Many people believe purpose comes from talent alone. They think their greatest contribution will emerge only from their strengths. Strengths certainly matter, but pain often shapes purpose in ways talent never can. Your deepest wounds can develop empathy, resilience, wisdom, and understanding that cannot be learned from books or comfortable experiences. The lessons earned through hardship become part of who you are, influencing how you see the world and how you respond to the struggles of others. Think about the people who have inspired you the most. Very few earned your respect because they lived perfect lives. More often, they became influential because they faced extraordinary challenges and refused to let those challenges define them. They transformed suffering into service. Instead of allowing pain to make them bitter, they allowed it to make them wiser. Their greatest impact came not despite their hardships, but because of them. Every painful experience teaches something valuable if you are willing to learn from it. Failure teaches humility and perseverance. Rejection teaches self-worth that does not depend on external approval. Loss teaches gratitude for what truly matters. Betrayal teaches discernment and emotional strength. Fear teaches courage whenever you choose to move forward anyway. Difficult seasons shape character in ways comfort never can. Many people remain trapped by their past because they continue asking, "Why did this happen to me?" While this question is understandable, it often keeps attention focused on the pain itself rather than the possibilities that can emerge from it. A more empowering question is, what can this experience teach me? Or how can this experience help someone else? The moment your perspective shifts from victimhood to growth, pain begins to take on a different meaning. Turning pain into purpose does not mean pretending suffering was enjoyable or minimizing the difficulties you faced. It means refusing to let those experiences become meaningless. Every challenge gives you a choice. You can allow it to define your identity, or you can allow it to shape your character. The event itself may be beyond your control, but the meaning you assign to it remains within your power. Many careers and life missions are born from personal struggles. A person who battled addiction may dedicate their life to helping others recover. Someone who experienced poverty may become passionate about creating opportunities for underserved communities. A survivor of illness may inspire others through advocacy. education, or compassion. Someone who endured loneliness may create spaces where others feel seen and accepted. Personal pain often reveals problems that you become uniquely motivated to solve. Your greatest struggle may also reveal your greatest strength. Surviving difficult circumstances develops qualities that comfortable lives rarely produce. Resilience grows through adversity. Patience develops through waiting. Compassion deepens through suffering. Courage is built by facing fear repeatedly. These qualities become resources you can offer to others, creating influence that extends far beyond your own experience. It is important to recognize that healing and purpose often grow together. Many people wait until every emotional wound is completely healed before believing they have something valuable to offer. In reality, helping others can become part of the healing process itself. Sharing lessons learned, offering encouragement, or simply listening with genuine understanding creates meaningful connections because your empathy comes from lived experience rather than theory. Pain also changes your perspective on success. Before hardship, success may have been defined by achievement, recognition, or financial security. After hardship, success often becomes connected to contribution, relationships, integrity, and impact. The things that once seemed urgent lose their importance. The experiences that truly matter become clearer because suffering has refined your priorities. Not every painful experience immediately reveals its purpose. Some lessons become clear only with time. There may be seasons when nothing makes sense, when the future feels uncertain, and when answers seem impossible to find. Yet many people eventually look back and recognize that the moments they once wanted to erase became the foundation for their greatest growth. The very experiences they considered obstacles became opportunities to develop strength, wisdom, compassion, and direction. Your past does not have to become a prison that limits your future. It can become a source of understanding that gives your life deeper meaning. The scars you carry do not simply represent what you have survived, they also represent what you have learned. Every challenge you overcome adds another layer to your ability to encourage, guide, and inspire others who are walking through similar struggles. The experiences that cause the deepest pain often hold the greatest potential to become a source of purpose, influence, and lasting impact. One of the biggest misconceptions about finding purpose is the belief that it begins by asking, "What do I want?" While personal goals and ambitions are important, purpose becomes far more meaningful when it shifts from self-centered achievement to serving something greater than yourself. The people who leave the deepest impact on the world rarely spend their lives focused only on personal success. Instead, they dedicate themselves to solving problems, improving lives, and creating value for others. True purpose grows stronger when your abilities become useful to someone beyond yourself. Many people spend years chasing money status, recognition, or influence, believing these things will finally make them feel fulfilled. They achieve one milestone after another, yet the feeling of satisfaction fades surprisingly quickly. This happens because external success can provide comfort and opportunity, but it cannot replace the deeper fulfillment that comes from knowing your life has made a positive difference. Human beings are naturally wired to seek meaning, and meaning often comes through contribution rather than accumulation. Serving others does not mean sacrificing your own dreams or ignoring your personal needs. It means recognizing that your talents, experiences, and strengths become far more valuable when they improve someone else's life. A doctor serves by healing. A teacher serves by educating. An entrepreneur serves by solving problems. A parent serves by raising the next generation. An artist serves by inspiring emotions and new perspectives. Even the smallest daily actions can become meaningful acts of service when they are driven by genuine care. One reason people struggle to find purpose is because they focus too much on discovering the perfect career instead of identifying the problems they feel called to solve. Purpose is often hidden inside the needs you notice most. Pay attention to the challenges that consistently capture your attention. Ask yourself what injustices bother you, what difficulties you naturally want to help others overcome, and what conversations make you feel energized rather than exhausted. These clues often point toward the kind of contribution you are uniquely positioned to make. Some people believe they have nothing valuable to offer because they compare themselves to highly successful individuals. They assume impact requires fame, wealth, or extraordinary influence. The truth is that meaningful service rarely begins on a large stage. It begins with one person helping another. Every act of kindness, every encouraging conversation, every lesson shared, and every problem solved creates ripples that extend further than you may ever realize. Small acts performed consistently often produce extraordinary results over time. Service also transforms the way you view your own struggles. Challenges become opportunities to understand and support others who face similar obstacles. A difficult season in your life may prepare you to encourage someone who feels hopeless. A lesson learned through failure may help another person avoid the same mistake. The wisdom gained through experience becomes valuable because it allows you to guide others with empathy rather than judgment. Another important truth is that people are naturally drawn to those who genuinely care about helping others. Leadership is not about having power over people. It is about creating conditions where people can grow, succeed, and become their best selves. The most respected leaders inspire trust because their focus extends beyond personal achievement. They understand that success is measured not only by what they accomplish, but also by the opportunities they create for others. Serving others also provides clarity during difficult decisions. When your primary focus is contribution, many choices become easier. Instead of asking which option brings the greatest personal reward, you begin asking which choice creates the greatest positive impact. This perspective reduces unnecessary distractions because your attention remains fixed on what truly matters rather than temporary recognition or approval. Purpose is strengthened when your unique strengths meet the needs of other people. Every individual possesses abilities, experiences, perspectives, and talents that no one else can duplicate in exactly the same way. Some people communicate ideas with exceptional clarity. Others build relationships naturally. Some excel at solving technical problems, while others inspire hope through encouragement and compassion. Understanding your strengths allows you to identify where you can create the greatest value. Service requires humility because it reminds you that life is not only about personal achievement. It shifts your attention away from constantly asking how the world can benefit you and encourages you to consider how you can benefit the world. This mindset creates deeper relationships, stronger communities, and greater personal fulfillment because your daily efforts become connected to something larger than individual success. The remarkable thing about serving others is that the person who gives often receives just as much in return. Helping someone solve a problem builds confidence. Encouraging another person strengthens your own perspective. Sharing knowledge deepens your understanding. Offering compassion develops emotional resilience. Contribution creates a sense of significance that material rewards alone cannot provide. The more your life becomes centered on creating value for others, the more naturally your purpose begins to reveal itself through the impact you make, the trust you earn, and the lives you help change. One of the greatest myths people believe is that successful individuals always feel ready before they take action. They imagine that confidence comes first, followed by courage, and finally by results. In reality, the process usually works in the opposite direction. Action comes first. Confidence grows through experience. Purpose becomes clearer with movement. If you spend your life waiting until you feel completely prepared, you may spend your life waiting. Many people delay their dreams because they believe they need more knowledge, more experience, more resources, or the perfect opportunity. They tell themselves they will begin once they have enough confidence, enough money, or enough certainty. While preparation has value, there comes a point where preparation becomes another form of procrastination. The desire to avoid mistakes often becomes stronger than the desire to grow. Finding your purpose is not something that happens while sitting still and endlessly thinking about possibilities. It happens through action. Every decision you make teaches you something about yourself. Every experience reveals new strengths, exposes weaknesses, and expands your understanding of what truly matters. Even when a choice turns out differently than expected, it provides valuable information that moves you closer to clarity. Imagine trying to learn how to swim by reading books without ever entering the water. You could spend years studying techniques, understanding theory, and watching others succeed. But real learning begins only when you step into the pool. Purpose works in much the same way. You cannot discover your life's direction only by thinking about it. You discover it by participating in life, trying new experiences, meeting new people, solving real problems, and allowing those experiences to shape your perspective. One reason people hesitate to take action is the fear of failure. Failure often feels personal. It can create embarrassment, disappointment, or self-doubt. Many people believe that making a mistake proves they are not capable or talented enough. This belief causes them to avoid opportunities that could transform their lives. They choose temporary comfort over long-term growth because uncertainty feels too risky. The truth is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is one of the most reliable teachers on the journey toward success. Every successful individual has experienced rejection, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. What separates them from others is not the absence of failure, but their willingness to continue despite it. Each setback becomes feedback rather than a reason to quit. Action also creates momentum. Small victories build confidence because they provide evidence that progress is possible. Completing one meaningful task makes the next one feel more achievable. Courage grows through repetition. The first difficult conversation is uncomfortable. The second becomes slightly easier. The same pattern applies to starting a business, learning a skill, speaking in public, changing careers, or pursuing a lifelong dream. Every action expands your comfort zone and increases your belief in your own abilities. Waiting until you feel ready often creates the illusion that confidence is a prerequisite for action. In reality, confidence is usually the reward for taking action repeatedly. You become confident because you survive challenges, solve problems, adapt to change, and discover that you are more capable than you once believed. Confidence is built through evidence collected from experience, not through positive thinking alone. Purpose becomes clearer as you move because every experience provides direction. Some experiences confirm that you are on the right path. Others reveal that a different direction would be more fulfilling. Neither outcome is wasted. Both provide valuable insight. People who refuse to move receive very little information because they never create opportunities to learn. Taking action before you feel ready also teaches resilience. It reminds you that uncertainty is a normal part of growth rather than a sign that something is wrong. Every meaningful goal contains unknowns. Every worthwhile opportunity involves some level of risk. Learning to act despite uncertainty prepares you for greater responsibilities and larger opportunities in the future. Many people overestimate the importance of making the perfect decision while underestimating the importance of making a decision. Progress rarely depends on perfection. It depends on consistency. Small actions performed regularly often produce extraordinary results over time. Reading one chapter every day builds knowledge. Exercising consistently builds strength. Practicing a skill daily builds mastery. Tiny improvements accumulate until they create remarkable transformation. There is also a difference between reckless action and purposeful action. Taking action before you feel ready does not mean acting without thought or preparation. It means recognizing the moment when additional planning no longer creates meaningful progress. At some point, the only way to gain the experience you seek is to begin. You learn by doing, not by endlessly preparing to do. Many people discover their life's purpose only after trying paths that ultimately were not right for them. Those experiences were not wasted because they eliminated possibilities, developed new skills, introduced valuable relationships, and clarified personal values. Every step forward, even the uncertain ones, contributes to greater understanding. Purpose is rarely revealed all at once. It unfolds gradually through movement, curiosity, persistence, and the willingness to begin before every answer is known. Failure is one of the most misunderstood experiences in life. Most people see it as evidence that they are not talented enough, smart enough, or capable enough to achieve their goals. They treat failure as a final verdict instead of recognizing it as an essential part of growth. The fear of making mistakes keeps countless people from pursuing opportunities that could completely transform their lives. Yet every person who has accomplished something meaningful has one thing in common: they failed repeatedly before they succeeded. From an early age, many people are taught to avoid mistakes. Good grades are rewarded. Correct answers are praised. Being wrong often brings embarrassment or criticism. Over time, this creates the belief that failure should be avoided at all costs. As adults, many carry this mindset into every area of life. They hesitate to start businesses, apply for new careers, speak publicly, build relationships, or pursue ambitious dreams because they fear looking unsuccessful. The reality is that failure is not proof that you are incapable. It is proof that you are attempting something that stretches your current abilities. If you never fail, it often means you are staying inside your comfort zone where nothing truly challenges you. Growth requires entering situations where success is uncertain. That uncertainty is not a weakness. It is evidence that you are expanding your potential. Think about how children learn to walk. They do not stand up once and immediately succeed. They fall over and over again, Each attempt teaches balance, coordination, and strength. No parent looks at a child after several failed attempts and concludes that walking simply is not meant for them. Failure is accepted as a natural part of learning. Somewhere along the way, many adults forget this truth. They begin expecting mastery without struggle, confidence without practice, and success without setbacks. Every failure contains valuable information. A failed business teaches lessons about leadership, decision-making, finances, and resilience. A rejected job application may reveal skills that need improvement or opportunities that better align with your strengths. A broken relationship can teach communication, emotional intelligence, and the importance of healthy boundaries. Mistakes become valuable only when you are willing to study them rather than simply regret them. One of the greatest differences between people who grow and people who remain stuck is how they interpret failure. Those who remain stuck often attach failure to their identity. They say, "I failed, therefore I am a failure." Those who continue growing separate the event from their identity. They understand that a failed attempt does not define who they are. It simply provides feedback about what needs to change. Purpose becomes clearer through failure because every setback eliminates paths that do not align with who you are becoming. Many successful people discovered what they were truly meant to do only after pursuing careers, businesses, or opportunities that ultimately did not fulfill them. Those experiences were not wasted. They provided clarity. They refined priorities. They developed skills that later became essential for future success. Failure also develops qualities that success alone cannot teach. Patience grows when progress takes longer than expected. Humility develops when reality challenges your assumptions. Resilience is built each time you recover from disappointment. Adaptability emerges when your original plans no longer work. Courage grows every time you choose to continue despite uncertainty. These qualities become part of your character, preparing you for responsibilities that require far more than technical skill. Many people compare their beginning to someone else's success and become discouraged. They see polished results without seeing the years of mistakes, rejection, and persistence that made those achievements possible. Every expert was once a beginner. Every leader was once inexperienced. Every confident speaker once felt nervous. Every successful entrepreneur once faced uncertainty. The visible success that people admire is usually supported by countless invisible failures that taught lessons along the way. Another reason failure is valuable is that it exposes assumptions. Sometimes you believe a certain goal will bring happiness, only to discover after pursuing it that it does not align with your values. Other times, failure forces you to develop skills you would never have learned otherwise. What initially appears to be a setback may actually redirect you toward opportunities that better match your purpose. The fear of failure often causes people to choose safety over significance. They settle for lives that feel predictable instead of pursuing lives that feel meaningful. While safety provides temporary comfort, it rarely creates lasting fulfillment. Meaningful growth always involves some level of uncertainty because every worthwhile goal requires learning something new, facing unfamiliar challenges, and accepting the possibility of mistakes. Failure is not something to celebrate for its own sake, but it should never become something that defines your future. The only truly permanent failure is refusing to learn from your experiences. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every disappointment reveals new information. Every setback presents an opportunity to become wiser, stronger, and more prepared for what comes next. When you begin viewing failure as education rather than defeat, you stop fearing it and start using it as one of the most powerful tools for discovering your purpose, strengthening your character, and building a life filled with continuous growth. Finding your purpose is not a single moment of discovery. It is a lifelong commitment to living in a way that reflects your deepest beliefs, values, and intentions. Many people assume that once they discover their purpose, life will suddenly become easy and every decision will feel obvious. The truth is that purpose must be lived every day. It is not something you simply find and keep forever. It is something you build through consistent choices, daily habits, and intentional actions that align with the person you want to become. A meaningful life is created one decision at a time. Every choice either moves you closer to your purpose or further away from it. The conversations you have, the people you spend time with, the work you choose, the habits you develop, and the way you respond to challenges all contribute to the life you are building. Purpose is not only expressed through major milestones. It is revealed through ordinary moments repeated consistently over time. Many people experience frustration because there is a gap between what they believe and how they actually live. They value health but neglect their bodies. They value family but allow work to consume all their time. They value honesty but remain silent when truth is needed. They value growth but avoid situations that challenge them. Over time, these small inconsistencies create inner conflict because actions no longer reflect personal values. Living with purpose requires integrity. Integrity is more than telling the truth. It means becoming the same person in every environment. Your character should not depend on who is watching. A purpose-driven life is built on consistency between your words, your decisions, and your behavior. When these areas align, you develop confidence because you trust yourself to live according to your principles rather than your emotions. Purpose also demands discipline. Inspiration is powerful, but it is temporary. Motivation rises and falls depending on circumstances, emotions, and external events. Discipline allows you to continue moving even when excitement disappears. The people who create meaningful lives are rarely those who feel motivated every day. They are the people who remain committed even when progress feels slow and challenges become difficult. Daily habits shape identity more than occasional moments of inspiration. Reading a few pages every day builds knowledge. Exercising consistently strengthens the body. Practicing gratitude changes perspective. Spending intentional time with loved ones strengthens relationships. Serving others develops compassion. Small actions repeated over months and years eventually define the person you become. Purpose is strengthened through consistency rather than intensity. The people around you also influence whether your life reflects your purpose. Relationships either reinforce your values or slowly pull you away from them. Supportive people encourage honesty, growth, courage, and accountability. They remind you of your potential during moments of doubt. Negative influences, however, often encourage compromise, fear, or complacency. Choosing your environment carefully is one of the most important decisions you can make because your surroundings quietly shape your habits and your future. Purpose-driven living also requires the courage to say no. Every yes carries the cost of time, attention, and energy. When your calendar becomes filled with activities that do not align with your priorities, there is little space left for what truly matters. Many people become exhausted not because they are pursuing their purpose, but because they are constantly distracted by obligations that do not contribute to it. Learning to protect your time becomes an act of protecting your purpose. Another important reality is that your purpose should influence every area of your life, not only your career. Purpose is reflected in how you treat strangers, how you respond to disappointment, how you care for your family, how you handle success, and how you face adversity. It becomes the foundation of your identity rather than simply a description of your work. A person living with purpose carries the same principles into every conversation, every relationship, and every responsibility. Purpose also grows stronger when you remain open to learning. Life continually presents new experiences, new challenges, and new opportunities for growth. A fixed mindset believes it already knows enough. A purpose-driven mindset remains curious. It asks better questions, listens carefully, reflects honestly, and embraces lifelong learning. Every lesson becomes another opportunity to align your life more closely with your values and your mission. There will be moments when your purpose is tested. Unexpected setbacks, criticism, uncertainty, and failure may tempt you to abandon the path you have chosen. During these moments, your commitment matters more than your comfort. A meaningful life is not built by avoiding difficulty, but by remaining faithful to what matters most despite the difficulty. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to demonstrate the values you claim to believe in. Building a life that reflects your purpose means understanding that success is not measured only by achievements, income, or recognition. It is measured by alignment. It is measured by whether your daily actions reflect your deepest convictions. It is measured by the positive influence you leave on other people and the integrity with which you choose to live. When your values, decisions, habits, relationships, and actions consistently point in the same direction, your life begins to reflect not just what you hope to become, but who you truly are.